splice method in JavaScript, it will work on only array, and we can see this splice method on the prototype of all the array. And it will not work on all the iteratable, like string also iteratable. We can use the for loop to iterate through every character, but splice is only work on the array, not on the new map and new set also it won't work. So we have to careful with that. It will work on only, like, let me give you a bracket, and we have this bracket array, and element will be 1 2 and 3. So it will work on only this array data structure. And why we use this splice method? To insert something inside this array, to delete something inside this array. So first is insert, delete is second, and third is we can replace some element inside this array. So three things we can do, like we can call it like array manipulation. But we have to careful with, like, it will mutate that original array and what it does return. So if you know about map, reduce and filter method, that will return a new array, but here it will also return a new array, but only deleted or removed element it will return. It will not like return some more logic things, like it will mutate that original array. That we have to be careful. Why? Because in use state we can't mutate object or array, because behind the scene it will compare previous state and current state and previous state in object dot is method. So it will, if we mute it, then it does not cause re-render inside use state. So for that we have also option to like use spread method inside new array. So that will be completely new array we haven't muted, so we can mutate that completely new array. And older redux we can't mutate. So there also, when we use splice method to delete something, insert something and replace something, we have to careful in older redux to not mutate the array. But in newer redux toolkit we can like mutate, we can directly use this splice method on that global initial all the state. We can directly use this splice method to mutate that global state. And behind the scene, that redux toolkit use emerge.js to handle the immutability. So that, so this, that will be the usage of splice. Like in the use state on the redux, on the redux toolkit, we can use this splice to add something. So first add something, second remove something, third is replace something. Okay, so let's do see the syntax, how the syntax is look like. Let's use this array. We can store this array in some variable also, but let's not use that now. We can use dot splice splice, and we can't pass the callback function here, similar to map, filter and reduce. We can't use the callback function here. We can just, so first here argument will be the starting index. So first argument is starting index. I hope it's visible to the screen. Starting index, let me little smaller font. Starting index will be any of this. It will always start with 0 1 and 2. So there will be 3 element. Index will be 0 1 and 2. So if I put here, let copy this. If I put here one index, then that will be on the second index. So this will be start from this second element of an array. Let me give you index also, not this one. Let's use this and change the color of index will be green. Index is 0, 1 and 2. Okay, so if we are starting from 0 index, that will be from the second element. If we use 0, then it will be start from the starting of the array. That will be start from element will be 1. So first argument is starting index. 6 minutes already. Okay, starting index. The second element will be delete count, or we can say remove count. This will be not the index. Here we have to provide the number of count, how many from starting index, how many count we want to delete. If we start from 0 and remove count, we put, let's change the color of this to red, and red will be deletion. So starting index will be this color or this color. Okay, so starting index 0, and if we put 1, then it will remove this 1 only. If we use 2 remove count, then it will remove 1 and 2. If we do 0, then it won't remove anything. So we have to like provide the number of count, how many element we want to delete from starting index. Let's put 1 for now. So it will delete this 1, and the final mutated array, not the return value. Here it will be 1. So return value, what text should I use? This one. Return value will be 1. The mutate value will be mutate. I don't know the spelling. Mutate array will be 2 and 3. 2 and 3, and return will be 1. So let's for now, so there is also optional argument that we can pass, but let's start with this basic starting index and remove count that we learned in last 8 minutes, 9 minutes. So let's do this exercise. We have 1, 2 and 3. So we have many exercise. Here we can start from this insert mode, then we have remove, then we have last replace. But let's do simple exercise 1, 2 and 3. Const nums. So this is our original array, nums array. If we do node index.js, we will get original array. If we perform slice on number, so we can see the splice here, and starting index, as you can see, you can also see here pop up. It will suggest you to give a start number and a delete count. So let's put here starting index on the 0 index. How many remove, how many delete count from that index? Let's do 1. And if we console that above nums array, let me put one message after splice, after splice array, we can see 2 and 3 here. If we run this, we will get 2 and 3. So you can see it will mutate the original array. That will create issue sometime if you don't use that spread operator here. If we use this nums array, what is the issue? Unexpected identified. We have to store in some variable const a, then a will be, so it won't mutate that array above array. As you can see, 1 2 3 after splice, we used splice, but it won't mutate that above array, but it will return that removed element. So if we want similar output as like above, we can use that splice method on that a, then splice, then 0 index, start from 0, remove 1. Now we can see it won't mutate that array, and don't return that because we don't want return value, we want that mutate value. So it will be fine on the redux and use state, older redux and use state. This method is fine. So we understand this splice method, starting index and remove count. Okay, let's do some exercise. Like what we did here, we removed the element, but let's start with insert mode. That we have to insert, we don't have to remove, we don't have to replace, we just have to do insert any string or any number or anything to particular index. So it will work only with the index. We can't like put any unique ID or this mango things, we can't use the string. We can get the index from like find, using find index method we can use, but for now just let's do the exercise without any complicated thing. Fruits dot splice, apple, grape and mango should be output. Okay, on the second index, so index on the second element, so index will be 1. So index 1, we don't have to delete anything, so delete count 0. And so we haven't learned the how to add something, so we can on the like on the, so this first argument, second argument and third argument is, we have to add something, insert something or replace something. We can provide a multiple string or number argument here, like add one something, add or replace one, replace one, something like this. We can add or replace in the third argument. We can also provide multiple argument, add 2, replace 2. Let me make little small so you can see. So third and fourth argument will be add or replace. Okay, what we have to add, grape on the on this index, and we don't have to delete this mango. So on this index we don't have to delete anything. Count will delete, count is 0. Grab we have to add on this index. If we console fruits, we will get what is the node insert mode. We will get similar output, apple, grape, mango. Second exercise, I hope it's visible. Second exercise, we have to add two element, blue and green, between green and yellow. We have to, so what it's insert red and blue at the beginning index 0. So not in between but at the starting point. So, and we don't have to delete also something, so delete count is 0, starting index is 0. Colors dot splice, starting index 0, we don't have to delete something, but we have to add something. What that will be, this two string. If we console dot log color, not cache, if we run this, we will get red, blue, green, yellow, red, blue, green, yellow. So we solve this exercise. Insert pencil at the end, last index plus 1. Okay, so at the index of 2, 0, 1 and second index, let's do that. Items dot splice, and at the end we have to add, we can get the length of items dot length minus 1. Length will be 2, 2 minus 1, 1. Okay, but we don't want on the second index, so length will be better. So 0, 1 and 2. So on the index of 2 we have to add something. We don't want to delete something, put 0 and add the pencil string here. Okay, console dot log items okay, book, eraser and pencil. We solve this. Here we have to find the last index that we want to add. Here last index is 1, but we don't want to replace this with eraser. We have to add new index, so we have to take the length. Okay, let's do 4. Insert lion and tiger at the index of 1. So this is 0 index, index 1 is bear, and we don't want to replace the beer also. Bear, not beer, bear. Okay. Bear. Beer. Splice. Bear. On the index of 1, starting index 1, we don't want to delete something, so if we delete something it will be replaced, so that we have to like learn. When we delete something, then it will be replaced. If we don't delete something, it won't replace. Okay, what we have to add? We have to add two things, lion and tiger. Console.log animals. Elephant, lion, tiger, bear. Elephant, lion, tiger. We added these two things from starting index 1 to this index 2. Bear replaced to last index. Goes to, not replace to. Question number 5. Insert HTML, CSS and JavaScript at index 2, 0, 1 and 2 on the last index. Okay, on the last index, but let's not use length, let's use the index 2 directly. Skills dot splice on the index of 2. We don't want to delete, we want to add something. On the index of 2, if we console skills and save, git react HTML, CSS, JavaScript node, we solve this. And replace mode, we have two. So replace mode, let's do in last. Let's do first remove one. I should start with remove mode. So remove, I explain first like remove counts, but here we take the insert first. So I hope you understand the how we can insert. Second will be remove banana from the array. How can we remove? We already learn starting index and remove count. That's all we need. Splice, not the callback. Apple, banana, we have to remove this at the index of 1. Start from index 1, remove also 1. Console.log fruits. If we run this remove mode, apple, cherry, banana, apple, cherry, mango, we removed banana. We have to just remember starting index, remove count, starting index, delete count. It show delete count, so for interview delete count should be better to say, not the remove count. It should say delete count, more official name. Okay, second, remove first 3 items. Index starting index 0 and the count will be 1, 2 and 3. So nums dot splice, starting index 0. How many from starting index 0? It's 3 item. So here we don't have to pass the index, we can pass a count, delete count. That we have to remember. Don't confuse with index. Only first is index, second is delete count. Console.log nums 4 5 6, that will be our output. Medals, what we have to remove only gold and silver. Middle two items. Index is starting index is 1 and 2 item. So first argument is 1 starting index and delete count is 2. Gold and silver should be delete removed. Medal dot splice, starting index is 2, okay, 0 1, so not 2, it should be 1. 0 1 2 3 index, we want to remove 2. Console.log medals, not this one. Insert mode, remove mode, yes, remove. Bronze and platinum, we got the output. We remove this center two items. Remove last one item using splice. So last element we can't like assume in the longest array. We can use length here. Console, not console, animal. How many minutes? 26 minutes. Okay. Starting index is this last one. How can we get last index? Length is 3, but last index is 0 1 2, so length minus 1. Animals dot length minus 1. Okay, how many we want to remove? 1. Console dot log animals, lion and tiger. We solve this one also. Last one, remove everything except the first item. We can choose the start index of 2, like letters dot splice, and starting index is 2, and if we don't provide anything, it should automatically delete all the things. We don't have to assign infinity here. Let's see. Console.log everything means we can't provide a static value. Let's see, we got AB. We can choose the first index. I confuse with the length, so it will be on the 0 index, and I choose the right index, that will be 1. 2 index will be this starting from C. Now we have output of A, so we solve this. Now the last one, replace. When we delete something and we add something, so it will be replaced. Okay, again when we delete something, we provide some value also on the third argument, then it will be replaced. Okay, replaced with replace banana, this banana, with grape. Banana at the what index? So for replace we have to delete something. Okay, something means this banana. Okay, fruits dot splice on the index of 0 and 1. One index is banana. We have to remove one item, that banana. We have to add one item on that index of 1. That will be grape. We have to save this file. Node replace mode, and we have to console this fruits, mutated fruits, mutated fruits array, apple, grape, mango. Okay, replace the green and yellow with red. We have to remove two things. At the index of 0 we have to add the red here. Colors, because if both these two goes away, we have only the index of 0. Splice start from 0 index. Why? Because green and yellow starting from 0 index. Remove 2, delete count. Remove 2 element, add only 1 element after removing the green and yellow. Colors, save this one. Red and blue, we got the output. Replace dog with cat. Replace dog with cat and rabbit. So replacing second element on the index of 1 with 2 element. Let's do that. Pets dot splice index of 1, dog index of 1. We have to remove also 1, but we have to add two things. So we can pass two arguments. Console.log pets. Fish, cat and rabbit, we replace the dog. Fourth, replace react with angular and view. Again similar above, we seen this one. Delete one and replace two. Frameworks dot splice react where it start. React start at second index. 0 1 2. Second index, how many we want to remove? 1 only. React, we have to keep the node. Let's add 2 string console.log framework works HTML CSS. So we replace react with angular and view. Replace the last two items with JavaScript. Last two item, how can we get last two item if we have longer array? We can use length -1 will be this, or we can use that skill dot at -1. If we console this one, let's see. we will get Java. We want index number, we don't want the value inside this array. Skills dot splice, what is the starting index? Last two item, so starting index is Python. Skills dot length will be 4. This one second index, fourth minus 2. So minus 1 will get the last index, but last 2 will be not minus 1, it will be 2. How many we want to delete? 2 items, and replace the last 2 item with JS. So we have to put that replaced item on this index, on the index number 0, 1 and 2, on the index number 2. Console.log skills. Already 36 minutes. Okay, we solve this one. HTML, CSS and JavaScript. So let's also take some harder one, little complex one. So we solve this simple ones. First we have to start with remove. We have to learn only this much: 2 arguments, starting index and delete count for remove only. Insert, we need these 3 arguments minimum. Starting, delete, count 0, and we can add. If we want to add something, delete count always 0. If we want to replace, delete count start with 1, whatever, how many we want to replace with, 2 or many more. And add also, you can add anything, like add 1, add 2, add 3. You can do anything, any like maximum value. I didn't write the more complex one, so let me get the more complex one. Let me pause the video for now. Here we have tricky exercise 1. Remove all zeros, these zeros, and insert not applicable at their position. But we only use index argument 1 only. We can't use 2 indexes. We can choose the start index, we can't choose multiple index. We can take here help of for loop, or we can also choose the for each also, but let's use for loop. Let I is equal to 0, I less than, it should do the length of this scores dot length not equal to, it should be less than, that should be 0 1 2 3 0 1 2 3 4 on the fourth only, not the fifth one. I 5 5, so it will iterate through 4 indexes. If scores of index I is equal to strict equal to is 0, then scores dot splice we can use that index. We can directly get the index of that 0 if it's matching with that element. We put that index and we want to remove also, so let's do 1. We have to replace, so we have to remove also. Insert na string not applicable. We don't want to handle the else part. Console.log scores. What is the issue? It's semicolon. Node index.js. Yes, we got the output. 10 not applicable, 5 not applicable, 8. Tricky exercise to replace middle item dynamically. Middle item. Replace the middle person Charlie dynamically, so we can divide this with length divide by 2, and we can do maths.floor and we can get the middle one. Let's see. Const middle index teams dot length divide by 2, so it will give us 2, but if there is 5 element then it will give 2.5 sometimes. So math.floor. Okay, teams dot splice middle index, start from middle index and replace middle item, so it should be 1 only, not items, it items, so it should be 1 with Eve. Let's console this team, not teams. Alice, Bob, Eve, David. We solved this one also. Tricky exercise 3. Insert multiple item before last. Urgent, urgent 2. So on the index of length -1 and -2. It should be length -1 at the index of this. Yes, length -1, index of 0, 1 and 2. So length is 3 -1, index of 2, and we have to insert, we don't have to delete. So delete count is 0. Starting index is task.splice. Starting index is length -1. Length -1. We don't want to delete. Just add 2 elements. Console.log tasks. Tasks 1, task 2, urgent 2, task 3. We solve this one also. Remove a range of item dynamically. Remove from second to fourth index. 0, 1, second to fourth index. So for 0 1 2 3 4, and count will be not the index, it will be count will be 1 2 and 3. Starting index 2, count 3. We don't want to add anything here. Months splice index 2, delete 3. Months, we solve this exercise. Jan Feb June, Jan Feb June. Last one, 45 minutes already done. Tricky exercise 5. Replace the last two numbers with sum of them. 6 plus 7 13, that we want to add last two element. Let's do sum first. Const sum of last two element. How can we get last two element? Yes, here we can use at. We want value -1. -1 is last one, plus -2 is second last one. We can also use length also here, but this is better, I think. If we console log sum of last two element, 14. How 14? 6, 7 and 6. How can be 14? So it should be -2, not -1. 13. Now it will be right. Now we just have to replace the last two element, means the second last index, that will be length -2. Okay, so nums dot splice nums dot length -2. We have to delete two numbers and add the sum of last two element. Let's comment this console. Where is node index? Yes, 13. We need to log the mutable nums, 4 5 and the sum of last two element. We solve this exercise already 48 minutes. In next exercise we can perform on the Redux toolkit to do CRUD, like delete something, add something, replace something, create read. For reading, I think we don't need anything. So for create, like insert, remove and replace, update, replace, like update, we can see in the next video on the Redux toolkit, because it will perform better because of emerges. It will handle immutability or mutability things. So we can use in next video this splice method. So if you have any questions, if you perform this exercise, you will get the basics idea of splice. You can also do this, use this for loop to do more complex things. We have to careful with muted thing, so you can like use spread operator on that if you have to handle immutability. So thank you.